on the side lanes. I mean, and as we have for the panel as well, they did suggest that Axe was likely to come up with as the last pick. Do you think this was pretty much the best way for NoTechies to end their draft?
I mean, it's a really solid hero in the fact that it can deal a lot of lane pressure against anti-mage, get damage. Blade Mail's always going to be effective if you blink call AM, because AM has a high damage to lower HP ratio. So yeah, there's good things about it for sure. It's definitely one of the better heroes remaining that's going to make team fighting a lot better for their team.
We'll see how much Zayac can do to mess around with them. To block Miposhka in here. Got at least a fair few hits onto him here to start things off. It's going to be a lane where Miposhka is going to have to be rather careful with his positioning once they've got a level or two. These Fisher blocks from Zayac, pretty deadly.
They are a little scary for sure, but on the bright side, the damage output of like Axe Earthshaker is not that extreme. We see Battle Hunger is okay, but if you just Crystal Novas, like these guys aren't going to wield that much right-click damage effect because of the attack speed slow, so won't be too bad, I don't think. Miposhka doesn't have too many laning issues usually anyways. Ooh, Magic Stick being destroyed there.
Oh, nice little find it from so bad behind the tower.
Solo getting his sentry dewarded finally. That was his sentry, right?
Yeah, he denied his own. Right?
Okay. Why did he block it in the first place then?
He's mine.
I don't know either.
I mean, was it sort of initially he didn't want them to aggressively pull the lane so that Crystallize was forced to farm into the tower, but then he changed his mind? I don't know.
I'd have to watch replay. Maybe BSJ can tell us after the game.
I'm sure we will expect on the replay. Yeah, as I said in the Weatherman segment, Brian. Top lane Malik. A little low there. They're gonna jump in and try and force him back as much as possible. Has still got the salve, so ready to keep himself fit for the lane. And how are we seeing mid? Pretty much yeah, straight even at this moment in time. 15-0, 15-0. Be any closer hit between the two. It's definitely going to be a game where that 4-minute power rune control is going to be very important for both teams. It really will be up to the supports to secure that rune for their mid.
So everybody's happy this game right now. Nobody's really super shut down. Everyone's levels are coming fine here. CM maybe not getting pulls done, but it's pretty common for all these players to interrupt these. Don't let them get too much space. Solo is being contested by Nick's Assassin, so all the cores farming fine. This might change a little bit as time goes on, so I'm going mid for some pressure. No, nothing really gonna finish there, just some damage. Maybe AM has to be more careful. His last hits are starting to fall behind for where axes are. And with the Ring of Health being complete on Axe, he's gonna rush for a quick guard. That's gonna mean that he's gonna be able to basically tank any of the damage that AM throws at him. He's not gonna have any mana, but all this pure damage against AM is gonna run him out of HP a lot faster than vice versa.
We'll see if they're able to get some ancient stacks going as well for Malik. They're not heading over there now, but great accelerators for the Axe, especially when they go for that Vanguard first. 4-minute runes. See who's able to get it. They're all heading towards the top one. And who's going to be able to grab it first? Remnant down, but it's going to end up spawning on the bottom half. Going to be a bit of a chase down there to grab it. Looks like neither of the mids going to be able to take it though. Solo taking it out of the game, so neither able to get the bottle refill from that. Ergon does get Zayac coming in from base though to provide him with the complete bolt charges.
Still very even in the mid lane though, so both teams just trying to make sure neither of those matchups goes super hard one way or the other. Anti-mage pretty low, salve coming from Miposhka. Miposhka also has boosted speed, so very survivable. Unlikely he ends up dying, but pretty soon Axe is gonna have Vanguard, you know, 800 gold an hour or whatever, but feels like that matchup's looking good for Axe. All the pure damage is something AM does not want to have to deal with, and he doesn't have his own Ring of Health yet. Loves the pace first. Coming up, no major rotations for this. Storm's gonna get the top ones.
Yes.
From Earthshaker. I feel like Earthshaker's gonna have a little bit of a tough game here. Normally Earthshaker, like, you get not that many levels, but the upside is that you get to transition to helping out getting some kills basically. But there aren't, outside of like Fidgery at the perfect time after like Axe Call, I don't know how he's going to help get kills.
Let's see Miposhka. Can't get away from these two. It's that battle hunger. Slowly ticking down. Malik. Finally getting that first blood here. 5.5 minutes in.
So good that he was able to get that. 300 gold accelerating right now when AIM already has a rough matchup. It's the Vanguard finish plus extra. So here it comes. Good luck pressuring Axe.
He's gonna be pretty much able to farm wherever he wants around this tower, around this top half of the map.
Radiant's middle
It's going
tower
to take some
is under
considerable
attack.
rotations to really kill Malik this early. That sort of timing.
On the bright side for Spirit though, Crystallize playing Wraithing is a little bit behind in net worth. Moderately, he's about 500 net worth behind where Anti-Mage is right now. He's got boots, so he's semi-survivable, but the Legion Commander 39 and 6 versus the 25 and 2 of Wraith. He has certainly been pressured here in this lane.
It's true, yeah, insane amount of farm on Collapse. Of course, as quick as that Vanguard is on Malik, we're also going to see Collapse be on track to get his items out very fast this game. Of course, level 6 has the duel at the ready. See what sort of movements they want to make around it. How we're doing on Toronto-Tokyo. Might hold off until the 8-minute power room. See if either him or, of course, Ergon gets something nice to make an aggressive play with.
Like they could dive soul a little bit here. It's a good person to duel, but full HP, the blast now. Luck on that. Skeletons will push out Nyx's assassin a little, I guess, but they didn't really have major intentions to the tower. The catapult died to pull anyways, and as long as they just keep getting more farm and maybe kind of this should be pretty good. He's got phase boots up now, so his ability to pressure rating is high. As long as they just slow down Wraithing's farm and get their AM some space, things will be kind of okay for him, I guess. Bit of a slow game. Everybody just hitting creeps.
Yeah.
Not too much kill threat.
I mean, as you say, you know that both carries are certainly going to be very happy with this. Yeah. Looking for those big items. Crystallize will opt for the armlet on the build-up though this game, so he is definitely going to be a bit more ready to fight before the anti-mage, before yatoro's. It's going to be close to being comfortable at getting involved.
Dire's top tower is under
Now sort of leaving that top lane alone.
Thank you.
Maybe a kill here on Nyx.
Over here now.
See, Ergon still plenty of mana to play with. Wait to get the carapace and kill is hit. Finding something indeed with that 8-minute haste through the top lane.
Radiant's bottom
Toronto-Tokyo come across and start to pull together the defense. Malik running in aggressively at them. He's got the call set up. Not going to have any follow-up though. Yatoro, definitely a very hard kill for them to find, at least without the backup of Ergon.
It's good to do those little trades sometimes though, like burn his mana on X. Now he's just dead out of being able to. Yeah, he can still farm here, but limited. Maybe a duel.
Oh, he wants to. He wants to, but he won't. He sees that TP coming in and Collapse knows better than to risk it. He may still have stepped forward too far, so bad. It's going to help out a little bit with the Impale, but the mana given to Ergon by Solo, giving him enough time to take it, but now he's actually completely out. Has just enough for the Vortex, though, and that will be enough to guarantee the kill on Collapse.
Maybe he duels Coddle there and kills him, but it's really low chances. All his skill points are into overwhelming odds, the nuke, so he's not going to get more than 1 moment of courage proc basically during the duel, maybe 2 if he's lucky. So good attempt to pressure, I guess, but at some point Storm's just going to show up like that and he's going to punish you. Laning advantage that he had, yeah, he's still doing fine. He's got 2 bracers in phase, but died too much like that, and they've been taking their own tier 1 tower. It's one of the downsides to Legion versus someone like an Axe, but quite as quickly, especially with the skill builds. So the map pressure from the NoTechies side is just stronger at the moment.
Malik. Being around the mid here, 10-minute rune. It's going to be in their hands. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, but they're going to be able to group secure it there with the amount they brought in mid NoTechies.
Dire's middle tower
Be able to grab
is under
this. So
attack.
now, Ergon, a lot of offensive potential. chance to get in there with the DD.
That's terrifying. DD ring. AM's scared, for example. Nice when he's in out. Get some damage in. Huh. I mean,
He could have saved it for something bigger, couldn't he?
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom
Yeah.
tower
I would have thought
is
he
under
would have
attack.
saved it there. I mean, he did some damage, and yeah, that's an astral step is used or whatever, but he went in offensively. Maybe he was worried about keeping himself alive or something.
Sure, wanted to scare them off.
Radiant's bottom tower
They
has
do take the
fallen.
tower finally, though. AM has a Ring of Health and I think a
Dire's
broadsword
top tower
into his
is under
battle
attack.
so he's getting there. His net worth is certainly lower than you'd want it to be, 4.2, but top cores are only about 5,000, 5,100. So he's got time to catch up as long as his team can make some stuff happen in the meantime and not get choked out on the map too much.
Sure. It's going to be a real test for Spirit to see if they can hold off when pretty much the 3 cores and NoTechies hit their first items. You know, when you have the Orchid on Storm, the Armlet on Wraith King, and the Blink on the Axe. That's going to be the real testing phase for Spirit to see if they can just sort of hold as 4 and give the space for yatoro to get his farming items done on the anti-mage.
And the Blink is on the way for Axe 3. He also got lucky, picked up a chip vest, so a 4-man's Blade Mail ready to go right off the start. But Legion is now going to play up here, try to help them defend this area. And we haven't seen a duel just yet, but maybe here's our first one.
It looks like it could be. As, yeah, collapsed. He's able to reach in, get the grab. Nice setup for So Bad.
You will make a nice
That
snow
is
angel.
first victory here for the Collapsed Legion.
A little gold for him, a little damage. That'll help make his lane a little bit more stable. And now Team Spirit's going to be able to move their heroes out across the map now that the jungle feels well defended. They've committed a lot of sentries and a lot of observers up onto this top lane so far. Collapse having more safe. Wraith King's now still behind anti-mages, but catching up slightly. But once AM picks up Battle Fury, he should be dwarfing, I assume, Wraith King, since Wraith King is pretty behind him when Armlet.
Here we go. This is
Up.
yeah. This is what we expect to see from NoTechies as soon as they had this blink on Axe. Time to make the moves, and any core
gonna
would
lose
do,
it.
but anti-mage would be pretty much
Oh,
the dream
going
catch.
bottom. Maybe they're gonna gank him now, but it's hard. He's got the illusion rune, so you can dispel the Orchid. It's like the best possible rune he could get in this moment while he's finishing his Fuel Scepter, and here it is. Fuel's now finished too.
Turn attentions towards mid. Spirit definitely seemingly aware that this sort of move's coming into play, keeping most of the cores off the map. Hello for the easy kill onto So Bad. Nice. Very easy though, despite Carapace. Find him a bit of time, not enough though. Ergon able to swing in, pull him back with a Vortex. As they take down the next assassin and start to apply some pressure to this tier 1 tower mid. Team Spirit, they have turned up though. Oh, we'll see if they are able to push them back though. It's a pretty scary defense.
I mean, how do they stop this push? They have overwhelming odds, but they can't even get close because Axe's Blink Dagger may stay on the opposite side of the tower. Like, nobody could approach this in the slightest to pull the creep wave past, and even if they did, they've still got Wraith King skeletons, and Axe is tanky, so pretty easy for them to force the tower. The Z push is certainly one thing that Team Spirit's lacking here. Until they get like counter initiation ready from Legion Commander or something like that, they're not gonna. But he does have Blink down. Imagine if he gets this a minute faster. Maybe they can actually take a fight there, but no opportunity, so they lose the tower.
Still going to try and make a smoke move with this though, as they're making their way straight over towards this Wraith King. Crystallize, of course, has got Reincarnate ready to go.
Visibility.
And also starts to move away before they get anywhere close enough. Zayac also with this Invis rune. It's going to be a good bit of provider of information for the rest of his team. And he's going to start setting things up. Arms the next assassin. Finding So Bad again alone in the river. That'll start things off once more, taking out the Nyx.
See, done by Crystallize, not the fall for that. When he sees the AM, he realizes the potential rotation is coming and he doesn't get grabbed there. Definitely, possibly gets killed there. If he gets dueled with AM, get his mana drained, he ends up going down, but ends up turning around the other way, and Team Spirit's gonna have to look for a kill on the opposite side of the map. So thus far, the Legion Commander's impact has not felt that much higher than Axe's. Axe shut down his opponent not as hard, but I feel like Axe just has so much more team fights right now with all this tank.
Talking about the Axe, Malik is in with the grab, he's got the setup. Is there going to be any sort of save for yatoro? Oh, they have the follow-up Fisher perfectly. As soon as that initiation is purged off by the Legion, the Fisher comes crashing down, and it doesn't matter. yatoro remains locked in position.
Collapse was ready to save him, but there was just too much stun.
Oh, Malik! He's able to jump past Sobag, get the call and turn them on the battle lines. They're able to force Illuminate Blast. They're taking out the Crystal Maiden. TORONTOTOKYO jumps across from the side, hits a huge astral step onto the three of them. He's taken out the Storm. The setup's there with the duel. Crystallize. They shoot off the watch. Malik tries to get him to the call, but Collapse is already out of range. Crystallize, ready to go with a second life, but underneath the tower, they've got to be careful. NoTechies starting to back off. Impaled from Sobag, catches onto the axe. Remnant off the mark. Malik is able to step to the side and still retreat.
Okay, not too bad. Very good fight for NoTechies, obviously. Great axe fall. That Observer Ward paying off big time. Was placed earlier. And with Auto Blast follow-up, these fights look pretty straightforward for NoTechies right now. People, damage follow-up, pick their crucial heroes. They lost Storm, unfortunately, but still, fights are going great for NoTechies. They're pressuring the map just far better. Spirit can defend again.
Another grab, Malik. He's able to get the jump in. Collapse, dunks down to finish up the kill. TORONTOTOKYO is going to jump across, has got a DD room ready to play with. Ergon still plenty of mana though, as he's able to get away from the voice spray over towards the CM, take out Miposhka. TORONTOTOKYO looking for solo. Malik and Zayac, they're ready to jump back in from the side though. And Spirit know it, they won't continue to try and chase down anyone.
Trump's just always ready to go. He does all these aggressive things. Coddle gives him a little boost. He pops a bottle charge or two, and he's at 80% mana. Makes it so easy for them to fight. But kind of a big mistake by Legion Commander. He moves into the same area where they got blind initiated on before. It hadn't been dewarded yet. And maybe they said something, but the supports did not have time to take out the Observer Wards. And as a result, two big initiations that again sets tempo for NoTechies.
As we see all three cores of NoTechies starting to cruise ahead at a very similar pace to one another. And, you know, these timings, Crystallize as well, opting for the armlet into the Deso this game. Are you a fan of this instead of sort of the more standard Radiance build? This Deso rush really fits with the timing they want to play to?
It's basically good because it's going to help them defeat Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage doesn't have that much armor at many stages of the game because you go Battle Fury, Manta, and then usually like a utility item or a beat.
Yeah.
So if he has Deso and Armlet, he does tons of physical damage with minus armor. It's a good solution against AM, who's low health and medium armor is usually. So it'll be good against Legion Commander and other heroes also. But you know, you don't really want to play Radiance against Nyx too bad. You don't really want to have Radiance against Anti-Mage either because he's got magic resistance and things like that. So he's been slowly catching up, but Wraith's farm level is finally in a good spot here. So he's been doing a good job.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The way the last few fights have gone on the kills that Ergon's been able to pick up, he's pretty much got that BKB done on top of the Orchid. These fights, at least around this mid game, don't seem like they're going to be any easier for Team Spirit in these sort of 5-on-5s. There's NoTechies just with that pure amount of jump.
Feels like this is like maybe a good demonstration of Legion being a bit ineffective as a hero in high-level pro games. Like you really want your lane, but people aren't going to come to your lane and give you free duels. It doesn't happen like that in pro games where they're organized, right? So then what you have to do is go around and try to gank other places, but doing so without Blink Dagger is hard. And the separation there in distance is difficult, which makes you want to play Axe instead of Legion. You got AoE, and you can do this. You can save people, but it doesn't quite give enough value in a lot of games. Even though Collapse laned well and got a gold advantage, it doesn't feel as strong.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
Careful,
bottom tower is under attack.
Deso timing on Crystallize. These crits are going to hurt. Anytime he's able to be in position to follow up Malik's calls,
Dire are
these heroes are going to melt.
Pulled back to the top lane. This is another nice thing that increasing his efficiency. Is that he goes and pushes out one lane fairly safely, summons skeletons, then he just leaves with help from Solo pulling him across the map. So instantly goes from defending now into pushing.
Tower is under attack. Dire's structures
Here looking
are
all around
fortified.
for a grab in the mid lane.
Radiant's
Tower's going to
middle
probably
tower
just die
is under
naturally
attack.
here, but they're
Radiant
just outmaneuvering on
structures
NoTechies
are
right now, in
fortified.
part because the Coddle advantage. They want a duel so bad, but they're just gonna have to take the tower
Radiant's
or
middle
let it die.
tower has fallen. Dire's top tower.
Bring anyone out of position as they all stand by one another. NoTechies 20 minutes in, taking these tier 2s away.
Dire's
defense
top tower has
Being
fallen.
provided by Spirits. They continue to try and avoid NoTechies movements and get space for yatoro on the map to allow him to try and get this Manta done on top of the Battle Fury. As you say, it's not necessarily a slow timing, but really at the accelerated pace and having that lead on top of the other cores in the game that an anti-mage would normally want to have at 20 minutes.
Yeah, the Axe is
Radiant's
playing
bottom
quite well
tower
against
is
him.
under attack.
I'm over here.
The Roche is gonna go down pretty quickly here, with the Deso helping things out a lot. Spirit, clearly they feel safe playing together, but it's hard for them to get their opponents to make mistakes where they're out of position. Those duels off. So, and now with BKB finish on Storm, he's got Essence on top of that. Very survivable here.
Tower is under attack.
that's
Now they're
huge.
gonna try to force. They're gonna run fights all the time now.
The Storm's going to be so hard to deal with. 2 lives as well with the Aegis. 2 lives on the Storm, 2 lives on the Wraith King. He's at a very strong
Radiant's
moment
bottom
here
tower is under
against
attack.
what Spirit have. Spirit, again, just having to continue to just limit casualties and stay away until yatoro is ready and farmed. Which is still going to take a little bit of time. Still not quite got that Manta done.
Not worth evening it out a slight amount, but it's a ways away from it. Might get spotted here. Because they see him, but he's running. Feels like the initiation is so much easier for the NoTechie side, because so many different heroes can do it. Earthshaker can do it with Blink. It could be Axe, it could be Storm. On the Team Spirit side, it's basically like, it's got to be like Void jumping in, or an Invis Nyx who's struggling a little bit.
The illusion room bait working out a little bit here, but still Zayac he's able to find the forward. Comes in with the Echo Slam so bad, and TORONTOTOKYO having to get right out of there. Not enough mana from Ergon to chase him now. Getting fueled
good.
underneath the tower. Do they have the damage to take him down? But once Malik's in the corner, won't be able to blow up the mana for huge amounts of damage. Going on towards Malik, but Zayac jumps in. But the ult's down from Miposhka. Zayac is trying to sprint, but he can't get out of there. He'll fall, frostbite down onto the Storm. Ergon still with plenty of mana to get out of there. Crystallize coming in with the Deso, punching into Miposhka. Miposhka able to sneak away into the trees. The Spirit are able to hit back and take a pretty decent fight here around this tier 2 into the Aegis of the Storm, as they will succeed in pushing back NoTechies.
Perfect circumstances considering their game position. Their opponents initiated, and they popped BKB early. The only downside was when they came in to punish it, Earthshaker was so ready for that. He jumps in, he gets a big dunk, to lower them down and make their fight a lot more vulnerable. But at least with the Storm's first death, the Mana Void comes out, it put Axe in a position where he was actually killable. So they went about even in that fight, at least. He gets some map control as well. First BKB charged down and doesn't die. Should be able to finish. But yep, he's got to complete. And now things get a little better for them.
Dire
Instantly,
are
sort of off the
scanning.
back of that fight, Team Spirit are moving right out onto NoTechie's half of the map. That Manta done on yatoro is going to feel a lot safer.
Got the shard on Wraith King, by the way, so mana drain is no longer a big deal. But it does slow down his progression. It's going to make his beak. Game advantage there is gone.
Miposhka, we get some nice deep wards down. And also on the cliff, so some solid information on NoTechie's intentions as they head out. We'll at least instantly boarding the
Glimmer for CM, but everybody on NoTechies is here. They're going to spot him.
Oh, Malik. Find the easy catch. It's a lot of damage.
Harvested her bones. Yeah,
Certainly
that was-
did. You're only going to hit harder once Crystallize has that AC done over there, so it will take a bit of time. Once it's there,
Radiant are
these
scanning.
crits are certainly going to be some of the hardest.
I like the AC this game. It's sort of right foot. It almost catches Nyx there. Max forced to buy BKB this game. That way if he goes on anti-mage, he doesn't lose all of his mana. Really good against catching the other heroes too. TORONTOTOKYO is still having a good game. He's 3-0-1. His net worth is still way up there. He's got eggs. He's going to buy a Sanj actually. I think he changes his mind, but considering that there's a lot of disables that like Axe Call and Fissure stuff, you know, having stats resistance will be really nice.
All right, they wanted him dead.
That was a little overkill, wasn't it? A lot.
Poor old
Everybody was there.
Just pretty much a whole team fight thrown onto that man.
Yep. Well, what are they going to get out of an offlane tier 1? Nobody cares about these towers. They're not. Unless you're Radiant. Radiant's one is a little better. It's supposed to work. But this one, not the best. And they're going to go take a fight with us. Nyx is dead. That's fine.
That might
get a good grab.
Might catch NoTechies by surprise, not expecting Spirit to go for the 4v5.
Got vision advantage.
This will hasten my fall.
Wants to get a good duel off or Legion. See we grab.
TORONTOTOKYO is going to go straight in, hit the wall with Stylus to get the duel in onto the Axe. Fitch comes down the sides to help out, slowing down the damage out, but they won't get the successful duel when they may still going to kill Malik slow, but crystallizes him with the backup, draws the Wraith Fire Blast down on the collapse, takes him out with a crit, and there's the trees there hunting for TORONTOTOKYO. He still wants to find Malik, but Malik is going to be able to get out with the blink. He even jumps back in, gets the call off to lock down so bad, as that was a very ballsy move there from Malik. I mean, he was nearly dead, but he goes back in to get that set up to make sure they get a third kill out of it all.
His survivability is insane. I mean, it makes sense to duel him in the sense that that's the guy that's going to counter-initiate if you go in, but the Earthshaker was ready. After the Void Spirit Silence ended, he fissures, he does the Enchant Totem afterwards. The stun duration just offset basically all the duel and AM's jump and ability to kill the Axe at the start of the fight. So, great counter-initiation there. Good engagement there.
I mean, that's got to be a very sort of scary outcome for Spirit. Like you've seen that happen. And how do Spirit make a jump into the full fight? It's very, very difficult. Ergon, he's diving in on the base, looking for so bad. They do have the stun locked down, and I mean, Ergon is gone. Okay, I mean, the classic Storm play. I mean, it's one of my favorite there, the zip into the base, it's screw objectives. He's dead, Purge.
Dip into base, get stunned, get chain stunned, even though you've got BKB ready, but you made that first mistake and it's just, that was kind of crucial. Spirit's gonna get on the map.
Oh, we're gonna see it again.
There's that replay here. Sumo's Nyx, there was a fissure, he jumped in. Oh, I see, and then the stun got removed by Legion, and that's why he got Spike Carapace off. Okay. Can anticipate that little play of events, and as a result, pretty easy dual kill.
Yes. He won't be doing that again. Yes. I don't think he'll be doing that again.
Pressure up on anti-mage. So he's going to be getting closer and closer to being able to get solo kills. And died in a long time. Picks up Orb Destruction as well. Great item to have on him for getting these solo kills. NoTechies still in decent spots. BKBs are up on their cores. Wraith King's got one. He's got a Hyperstone too as well. Axe has BKB now, so he doesn't have to worry about counter initiations.
Well, Malik can fall. Calls have been very on point so far this game. TORONTOTOKYO. Not be a bad shout here if Malik can find him. Cool collapse. Oh, I mean, he's dead. I think he had a bit of an opportunity to blink there, and he was sort of being body blocked by the. I guess he just wasn't looking, Purge.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty weird place for a kill to happen, right? It would have been a little unexpected, but especially because he was running from his tri-camp towards his jungle. He would expect them to be behind him, actually, not in front. So a bit unfortunate for him, but he certainly could have reacted at this camp in the right place. It happens sometimes. So much to focus on in these games. Like, you're gonna drop focus for small moments like that.
Zayac set up there. They've got a lot of control there between the Vortex and the Wraith Fire Blast. It's enough. TORONTOTOKYO taken out. Now they can start beating on the towers.
They were so ready for that. But the chain stun is just too strong. Really straightforward to kill if they just chain all the way through. Pressure. They don't even have blink on Wraith King. He just walked up and did the follow-up, you know? I guess he's got movement speed talent or whatever, but pulling the map better, getting these pickoffs on various heroes. The only person they haven't killed in a while is AM. But I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's gonna matter if they can keep their net worth advantages.
See, nice time Roshan respawn here for NoTechies. As the TORONTOTOKYO out the game still for 20 seconds. And it's not going to be any contest from Spirit. Three Aegis and Cheese ready for the next push from NoTechies. And also this goal, pushing very close. Crystallize just under 1,000 gold away from having the completed AC for the next push.
Yeah, and I love that he's got Elven Tunic as well. So he's got a 30 movement speed talent. Now he just got 8% movement speed from his neutral item, and the evasion and the attack speed is just perfect. His single target damage is really, really good this game. Anybody that he goes on is going to be in a lot of trouble. And the fact that his team has such good initiation, Axe Blink, Earthshaker Blink, Storm Jump, he's got so many easy ways to follow up that he just doesn't even have to mess around with Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
So he just gets to put even more gold towards having really good damage solutions against heroes like Enemy.
Radiant's bottom tower
and
is
at
under
this
attack.
point, you know, for the anti-mage, does yatoro have to just continue to play the split push game? Is it still too much of a lead that NoTechies have for yatoro to feel that he can actually contribute to these team fights?
I mean, if there's a big committed team fight, absolutely he's going to show up. But if he doesn't pressure the map like this, then it's going to allow NoTechies to do whatever they want for the entirety of the game. And now they're going high ground. I assume Main's going to just split here, not try to focus. I don't think their team fight is better right now. At least until Void Spirit gets a little bit of solution. Yeah, I mean, he went Kaya Sanj to help against these stun initiations. Maybe he should have BKB. He's queuing up Aeondist. I think that's a great solution. But they TP back once, and now AM will potentially show up to the fight if Spirit can grab somebody. But they don't even have BKB on Legion either. That's the other thing that they're really missing. Him dueling somebody is just not going to go well. So until then, they just can't fight. It's almost got the money though. About 400 more need.
So bad. Sorry, with it. And with the Abyssal Blade, they're going to try for this, but it comes across from Ergon. And it's actually going to be so bad, ending up going down. yatoro not able to finish the kill.
Stick able to stop the Meteor Hammer from coming through. And as a result, Axe gets the cheese off. He got up there really fast, I gotta say. As soon as the storm showed up, AIM was like, out!
Yeah, he was not spending a moment too long there. So completely out of the area. Trying to get his BKB finished. Now starting to move up towards him. I mean, Ergon, of course, seeing him. Can they catch him though? Too hard. He's into the trees. He is away.
All the blink talent. Very difficult for. The fact that the threat is there on the map is still really tough. And vision advantage-wise, it's looking really good for NoTechies. They've controlled the whole enemy jungle. There are some pretty good wards for Spirit. They've got ones near Roshan and around the mid lane, but those things are going to time up pretty darn soon. So if they don't get a good move on the map shortly, ideally with a smoke, then they're just going to lose vision advantage, and it's going to get even worse. They're going to be forced to use smokes to do any of this, and they're prepped for it, but don't quite feel ready yet. AM heading top, they get spotted instantly by the ward. We'll see if NoTechies responds. Take an easy kill mid.
Oh, easy, yeah, indeed. And now Malik, he's able to get the grab onto TORONTOTOKYO. Pekos now knocks him down and out for 70 seconds, and he does not have buyback. TORONTOTOKYO spending up, so 500 short of being able to get back in the game here. NoTechies could put some considerable pressure on with this win.
The AC and everything, its damage is so high. This is the hardest thing about playing against NoTechies lineup. You have to be within vision range and you die, that's insanely strong. They just don't have solutions against it. They'd have to have like better team fight or really good save. And press the attack alone is not enough. You're getting hit with like 4 stuns. Slapping. How do they stop this? 2 racks because Void Spirit didn't have the buyback. Among other reasons, you know, they're losing the game.
Definitely painful that not being able to put together any sort of defense. We've seen yatoro get closer to his next item. Still 1,000 off the BKB.
has fallen.
As definitely turning
Radiant's
into
top tower is
just
under
one of those
attack.
games where still a lot of anticipation for what this anti-mage is going to be able to do, what sort of impact he's going to be able to have on the game. And so far, it absolutely hasn't played out the way Spirit would have planned for.
I mean, normally if you're playing anti-mage, you get to follow up from what your allies do. Jump on a guy, use the Abyssal Blade, get some kills, or you get some solo kills on side lanes. But generally, NoTechies has been able to cover each other basically while they do the split push. And because Team Spirit just can't get out of their base, AM can never do these combo kills. So he's basically playing this whole game solo, is what it feels like. Really difficult to do. See what Axe is building towards you?
Was the old Shadow Blade?
Well, no,
Oh,
it's
he
an
changed
Arcane Blink.
Oh, yeah, he had the Shadow Blade queued up, but hey, he's changed it up for the Arcane Blink. I mean, a fan of this, I mean, what does this sort of say? Just instant, easier calls?
Yeah, I think so. Lowered the cast animation on call. That way, because that's actually one of the issues with Axe's initiators, that his call's a little bit slow, so sometimes you get opportunities to pop BKB. But 50% cast point reduction, call is going to be a lot quicker and more likely to catch AM before Manta or BKB or anything. Be expensive though. I mean, in a normal game, you're not going to want to see this, but if we're talking about like little catches that'll end the game for them when they're 2 racks up, it's a really solid item, good way to spend your surplus gold.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, huge fan of this on Malik. I mean, he certainly knows what he's doing. He's been having a great game. 5-1-11 on the Axe, and a lot of these kills just being down to the initiations that he's been able to find, and the fact that he's going to be able to do that even easier now. Definitely something Spirit have to be very aware of.
Moving out.
Spirit there to get initiation on BKB out for Crystallize. Get the duel on the backline. As the duel is there, Collapse will be able to set up and take down Zayac. Miposhka holding his position with the ult, but Crystallize is ready to just continue to push on through it with the BKB. The call's there. Malik, he's grabbed Yatoro. Yatoro's going to get out. Tommy Khan, Yatoro's dead. He's out for 90. The anti-mage is down. No buyback on him. The cleanup coming into play. And there was really nothing that the AM could do there. They're just going to call it GG. It is well and truly over. As a brilliant game from NoTechies. I mean, honestly, Malik's Axe, it was the perfect final pick for the draft.
It really was. It laned really well against the anti-mage. Anti-mage was forced out of his lane circumstance, and then they